Hello guys, welcome to my another video. So today we are come back another with another question, but today's one is like a little bit difficult. Yeah, not like the other ones, because this one that I'm going to show you today is going to be a rare case. That's why I would have liked to talk to you about a little bit more about this question before I go to that. First of all, what do we always know? Like, if we find a question where it has where it has words which is within between commas or like dashes or here brackets. Now for the most part we can just skip those words, right? That's what I have been telling you for this all this time. But for this question it's not the same case, it's different. Yeah, it sounds weird, but yeah, for this one you have to give importance to those types of words. Why, you will see here. But this one is, as I told you, these are like a rare case, so you don't need to worry about a lot. But yeah, there are rare cases like this, and that's why this question is here. So let's not talk too much and get to the main topic now. So what's the question? In her 1983 book, The Managed Heart, Commercialization of Human Feeling, sociologist Arlie Russell Hochschild, I guess, first explored at length her conception of a sociology of emotions. The idea that the various cultural and ideological frameworks a person has internalized, break it, class, gender, political affirmation, etc., break it, dash, each emotional reaction that a person has within a situation. The question is always the same: which choice completes the text so that it confirms the convention of standard English? So that's the question. So let's get to the main topic now. So this is the dash, or we have to use the word, and let's read the line once again for our normal rules. The idea, so this is the idea that they're talking about here. Just a second here, yeah. The idea, and this is the idea that they are talking about here. Commercialization of human being, sociology of emotions. The idea that the various culture and ideological frameworks a person has internalized. What do we always know? When you see something within commas or brackets or dashes, you can skip those lines, right? So let's go with this one. Let's skip these words. Let's see what happens here. The idea that the various culture, ideological frameworks a person has internalized, dash each emotional reaction that person has within the underline each emotional reaction that that person has within a situation. So now I have a question. Oh, what are they asking here? They're asking for like which verb actually is right. So what do we always know about verbs? How are the verbs actually decided? By who? By subject, by object, by he, by pronoun, by who, by adjective, by noun, by pronoun, by who. We always know that the verb is always defined by the subject itself or the noun or the pronoun. I mean, the subject is always noun or pronoun, but not always the subject or object. The verb is always depend on the subject or object, and it has to be either noun or pronoun, not adjective or adverb, nothing else. Only just noun or pronoun. So if you see, like, all they're asking here is like for verbs. That means what do we have to look for here? We have to look for the subject. So let's see the questions. And now a lot of people like ask me like, okay, why didn't you read the first part? We always have the same thing. You can see like they already give us like this specific part which actually looks useless because of this dash here and this dot here. That's why I found it like useless. It doesn't mean that you don't have to read it. I just saved some time. That's why you can read it and say, and you will realize it yourself that this line is actually useless. So you don't need to you just don't need to worry about it that much. So what were you doing? We are looking for the subject, right, or the object. You have to look for noun or pronouns. That's the base we actually should like look for when you're just like trying to identify which verb from should actually be right here. You should actually try to identify the noun and from pronouns. This part. In this part, you should actually look for the noun pronouns. So let's see what are the nouns and what are the nouns or pronouns here. The idea. This is a subject. What is the idea? Is it a noun or pronoun? Let's say I don't know, but it's actually a subject. I mean, sorry, a noun. Why? Because it's a third person singular number. The idea that the various culture and ideological frameworks a person. You know what? This whole line you see here that the various culture and ideological frameworks a person actually it's not actually useless. Sorry, it is not actually useful. This line is useless. How? Why? Because what do you always know? How does a sentence structure how does a sentence structure look like? A subject, a verb which is here has internalized, and any other objects or etc. So do we have a subject here? Yes. We do. We have a verb here? Yes. So whatever it is inside within the subject here, within the subject or verb, either it is always adjective or adverb. For the most part, remember that 99% case there you cannot actually like the adjective can be within noun and verb. Only adverbs can. So this whole line that the various culture and ideological frameworks of a person is an adverb. That means which is useless. Why? I told you. You need to, for a sentence structure, you need to identify the subject and the verb. And to identify the verb, you need a subject. So whatever we have here adverb that I have already told you is useless to us. That's why we are cutting this adverb here. It is useless, completely useless. I hope you get that what I'm saying, or if you don't, repeat this video again and replay this video again so that you can understand. And if you don't still understand, just comment me. I will take care of the questions there. So we have found a subject, which is we have found the idea. Doesn't matter whether it is noun or pronoun. We have found an object, which is sorry. We have found a verb, which is has internalized. So what else is here? So the all the things that comes after subject, it has to be an object or another sentence or another sentence. So what do we see here? Do we see here a subject? We see. Sorry, I think I should cut some things. Like yeah, let's cut these things. Yeah. Okay, cut done. Eraser. Yep, done. Yeah. So after has internalized, what do we see here? Has internalized. After that, what do we see? Class, gender, political affiliation, dash, which is a verb, each emotional reaction that person has within a situation, which is actually an object, like a whole sentence. But as I told you, after this, that part, this line is also useless. This part. Why? I already told you. Because of an object. I mean, because this is an adverb. So we already identified that. Okay, we are getting all these things. Okay, we are getting that. Now the question is, what is going to be the verb? So if there is a sentence which has a subject here, the idea, and has an verb, what do you think of the sentence? This is a complete sentence. So if you see another subject, another verb, what do you think? Who should this verb actually identify to? Like who should this verb actually like be modified with? Which subject should actually modify this verb? Because this idea, this subject is modifying this one, has internalized. But what about underlying? Who is going to identify this guy? Obviously, this one here. I guess you're understanding what I'm trying to say. Because for the most part, a lot of you might think like this verb is going to be identified with the same thing, the idea, but no. Why? Because the idea is already modifying, has internalized. That's why. And it is a complete sentence. And the rest of this is another sentence structure, which is another subject, another verb. And since this verb is with another sentence structure, this verb is actually this verb is actually being modified with this class, gender, political affiliation. So what is going to be the answer? Obviously, what do we see here? Is class, gender, political affiliation, etc. a third person singular number? Like, is it a singular number or plural? It's a plural. Why? Because there are three. So obviously it's plural. So what is going to be here is underlying, underlie has been underlined, underlie. Now, a lot of you might think like, okay, why not is underlying or has underlying? Same thing. Since it is a third person plural number, with a plural number so is, has, does, or as by es, something that like that has a as by es. Those kinds of words cannot go with a plural number, and this is the plural number. That's why only underline is the right answer. I hope you get that what I've said, and if you don't, yes, there is a correct word answer for you, and here it is. If you read this one, I hope you get it what they are saying, though I didn't get it actually what they said. But yeah, that's the best I could explain, and I hope you like it. If you do, kindly give me a like and comments. That's all. And don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye. See you with another video.